the sugar drops for 5, 6, 10 points. People with all kinds of pains, very often pains are gone. So people started talking about this. And people with very serious diseases, tumors and so on, they come for a week, for 10 days. They go inside for 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening, next day, and so on. They could see the revolutionary improvement of their health condition. And even though we always say, we are not in a healing business, we don't give medical guarantees, but what we do, we film, we record those healing testimonials. The Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, which is the largest on the planet, 368 meters, which we determined using the new technology called LIDAR or LIDAR technology. Bosnian Pyramid of the Moon, 190 meters. And for the comparison, the Great Pyramid of Egypt, or Cheops, or Khufu, is 147. So two biggest are in Bosnia. Pyramid of Dragon, Pyramid of Love, Temple of Mother Earth, the sixth pyramid. And interestingly enough, three major pyramids, Sun, Moon, and Dragon, they form perfect equilateral triangle. The distances between the tops, 2,180 meters, 2,180, 2,180. 180. When we started digging, yes, when we started digging back in 2006, 1 meter under the soil, we started discovering rectangular and square blocks in several rows. We have analyzed those blocks at 7 institutes for materials: Politecnico di Torino in Italy, Geopolymer Institute in France, Institute for Geology of Czech Academy of Sciences, Slovakia, Bosnia. They all told us that that was an artificially made concrete. So the pyramid is covered in millions of tons of concrete. And they told us it was the best quality concrete ever. How do you determine that? Well, hardness. Harder the concrete, more durable, better the quality. Our concretes in 21st century are in the scale from 10 to 60 megapascals. After we've analyzed 50 samples from the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, the hardness is from 74 to 155 megapascals. Wow. We cannot make such a hard concrete with our technology. The next element, since I travel around the world, I realized there are several common elements. The next element is the orientation to the cardinal points, to the north especially. Well, the pyramids in China, northern direction, Cambodia, Indonesia, Egypt, north, north, north. For example, the Great Pyramid of Egypt has an error from the perfect cosmic north of 0 degrees and 3 minutes. 3 minutes, that's a fraction of 1 degree, that's perfect. The second largest, Khafre or Kefren, 0 degrees, 3 minutes. Mykerinos or Mycenaeus, the third one, 0 degrees, 18 minutes. Bent Pyramid in Dahshur, 0 degrees, 12 minutes. A Red Pyramid, 0 degrees, 5 minutes. I mean, that's genius. In Bosnia, our error, 0 degrees, 0 minutes, and 12 seconds. The most precise ever. Who measured that? The State Institute for Geodesy. We had 3 engineers who came with the total station. They got connected with the satellites, and they got this perfect orientation. So we started discovering element after element. They were telling us how precise and how superior those builders were. And then the next one, we used the scanner to scan what was inside the pyramid using geophysical instruments. We realized there are 7 levels of passageways, and they're laid out like a spiral going to the top. And then the next element, during the archaeological work, we discovered a lot of quartz crystal and white crystal on the pyramid walls and in the tunnels. And as we know, and secondly, they had the ability to transform one form of the energy, in our case, we measure electromagnetic field, to another one through the piezoelectrical field. Okay, and then the next element, under the pyramid, we discovered underground water flow. Water moves, releases negative ions. Negative ions are extremely important for our health. They are very beneficial. And then we've been measuring using air ion counters. These are instruments made in the US. The concentrations are the biggest on the planet because I use those instruments when I go to Egypt, South Africa, Germany, US, other countries. And then the next element, we measure one specific form of the energy called orgone energy. You know, William Reich, 100 years back, he discovered this instrument that measures invisible form of the energy. But since you have the instruments, you can measure. You can scientifically prove. We've discovered that, like in the cities, on the scale from 0 to 100, it's about 10% orgone energy. Villages, 20%. In the tunnels in Bosnia, on the pyramids in Bosnia, 40%. So it seems that the pyramids, you know, they actually generate very beneficial energy. So, Cambell, you know, shortly, it seems that the ancient had very specific goal, why they built this complex. Now, archaeologists, historians, museum curators, geologists, they cannot really help us in explaining what is the purpose of pyramids. We needed real scientists, people with the scientific instruments, physicists, electrical engineers, sound engineers, telecommunication engineers, medical doctors, and they've been coming in the last 15 years. And this is what we concluded. On the top of the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, there is an energy beam, which is 28 kilohertz frequency, which is electrical in nature, which is continuous because we measure it in the summer, fall, winter, spring. And it starts at 4.5 meter radius. It expands to 20, coming back to 4.5, 20, 4.5, 20. And as it moves away from the pyramid, it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. In science, this phenomenon is called scalar waves.
Okay.
And the guy who was experimenting with the scalar waves and who was aware of their existence was the genius mind of Nikola Tesla. Tesla, back in 1899, in his lab in Colorado Springs, he was experimenting with this. And the Russian physicists, they've been experimenting in the last 50 years, concluding that the scalar waves move quicker than the speed of light. Or, to be more precise, information within scalar fields move quicker than the speed of light. Our logical conclusion was the first potential purpose of pyramid energy was the communication. So, the pyramids, communication devices. You mentioned the healing aspect or health. You know, under the Bosnian Valley of Pyramids, 6 pyramids, we have huge network of underground tunnels. So far, we have discovered 6 entrances to those prehistoric tunnels. We cleared about 3.1 kilometers. That's a sensational discovery for itself. But we've noticed when people go to the tunnels, they breathe very well. And indeed, you go inside, oxygen level is excellent, but somehow you breathe better and better as you go deeper. People with respiratory problems, for example, asthma, they breathe so well, they got outside, they don't need inhalators, those air pumps no more. People with the high blood pressure, after one visit, it got normalized. People with the high sugar in the blood, you know, the sugar drops for 5, 6, 10 points. People with all kinds of pains, very often pains are gone. So people started talking about this. And people with the very serious diseases, tumors and so on, they come for a week, for 10 days. They go inside for 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the evening, next day, and so on. they could see the revolutionary improvement of their health condition. And even though we always say we are not in a healing business, we don't give medical guarantees, but what we do, we film, we record those healing testimonials, and we have hundreds of them. So what's happening inside the tunnels? Obviously, the next purpose of the pyramid energy is to protect what is the most valuable to us, and that would be our health. And you see, Cambell, how now it becomes rather logical. Instead of pyramids being tombs for one dead body, now we have communication, long distances, we have health, and as you will see later, water and food and so on. So, you know, we've been measuring, trying to explain what's happening inside the tunnels. Combination of 9 elements, very brief. The first 5 is the absence of all harmful radiations. For example, you and I, we live on the surface of the planet. It's nice, it's romantic, but a lot of radiation coming from the cosmos. Some of them are harmful, and they attack our body. Our body cells fight those, harmful radiations. In the tunnels, 40 meters below the ground, no harmful radiations. In the tunnels, no natural radioactivity. What do we use to measure radioactivity? Geiger-Miller counters. We measure, the values are tens of times lower than the minimum allowed. No radioactivity, no enemies for our bodies, no geopathogenic radiations, no signal for the mobile phones, no signal for the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi. So absence of all harmful radiation. So what's happening inside? You get inside for the first time in your life, your body does not have enemies. So body cells can start doing their real job. And their job is to fix the problems, to start the regeneration process. Somebody has the high blood pressure, somebody has sugar, somebody has tumor, somebody has mental problems. Regeneration process. And when you add 4 more elements that we measure, the best frequency of electromagnetic field, 28 kilohertz, the best frequency of ultrasound, 28 kilohertz, the best very low frequency, 7.83 hertz. In science, it's called original Schumann resonance. And finally, number 9, high concentration of negative ions, like in my home, in the offices, concentrations are very low, 20, 30, 50. You go outside, it's fresher, 100 negative ions per cubic centimeter. You go to the mountains, 1,000. You go to Bosnian pyramid tunnels, between 20,000 and 200,000 negative ions per cubic centimeter, the highest on the planet. So imagine you combine those 9, energy features.
Good number.
You are having the safest and the healthiest place on the planet.
Wow.
And very shortly, before you ask me your second question, and be careful with your question, you see how long answers, it improves molecular structure of the water. The water has the beautiful hexagonal structure exposed to pyramid energy. It's structural water, it's high vibrating water. Number 4, food. Number 5, immunity. Number 6, auric field getting improved. Number 7, chakras, 7 of them. Coming back to the balance, they're opening up. Number 8, they clear the atmosphere. So, in conclusion, the pyramid energy and the Bosnian pyramids and the oldest and the original pyramids were used to improve our daily life. Literally everything.
Remember, in the end, nobody wins unless everybody wins.